Hey guys, I've been promising you a life update for a month now. So here it is. We've got a lot to talk about. Okay, first of all, let's do the fun stuff. Let's do the good news before bad news. It's not bad news, it's not new things. This is kind of like explanation things. Okay, so first of all, we're moving downtown, which is super, super nice. I know I kind of put some teaser stuff up the other day about our new place, and I'm really, 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 really excited. This is going to be a nice change of scenery. We're closer to all the things that matter, except Merlin's moving farther away from his job. But that's okay because I don't have to drive as far from mine. He likes to drive. It's okay. It's okay. This has all been worked out. It's balanced and equal. We took everything into consideration. So it's a really, really nice, bright, new future kind of thing. I have a new position that I'm starting in a few weeks, which is really, really awesome because my last one was not so awesome, to the tune of it took 4 months to be paid for some legal work that I did. Yeah. But that's done with. That's in the past. It's over now. Again, bright new future things. So with that new move, with all these new life changes, it's obviously been kind of busy lately. You guys know that I try to disclaim that. But it means that it has some not so fun side effects, like the fact that we haven't been able to film Vampire lately, because Merlin's been really busy. I've been really busy. We're trying to get all this stuff settled because you have a few months to figure out all these things, all these moving changes, and oh my god, what are we gonna do with this enormous dining table? And shit, we're gonna need to do this. You know the drill. So we're trying to get everything settled. Not to mention that it's really, really rough to fit both of us in my little recording area. Not to mention the sound's janky. I know I've already bitched about how many times we had to record Vampire because it wasn't working. We had technical difficulties with the program itself, with a game, I should say. It's still technically a program. And sound wasn't working, and the graphics weren't working. So we put that on hold until we get into the new place. So probably new Vampire come December. We are still going to do it though. Don't worry. We're both really psyched to play it. But it's so much trouble to get it to work right now. And we're about to have everything shift around. I want to get new shirt mics. Because having us share my mic is really a problem. Because it's a chunky boy. I've got a little blue snowball round butt. He's very big. It's hard to keep him out of the picture. And he's not the best mic in the world. So we're gonna get that fixed. So obviously we're gonna have new space, gonna have new background instead of this pink blanket that I've been using forever. I was gonna chroma key initially, but when I realized that pink was a really bad color to chroma key on because it takes away some my lips if they're not painted and stuff like that. The more you know. So we're gonna have new lights, new tech, new space. So hopefully that's gonna be really exciting and fun. And if you guys even give a fuck, I can do a short video about everything when I get it set up, as in the new space itself and what I'm using. I actually haven't had many people ask me what components I use for this. You know what I mean? But if you care, I'm more than happy to let you guys know, to make a video and to shed some light on all the shit that goes on behind the scenes. So that's not the only thing that's been making my videos and content, my cosplay, my modeling really slowed down as of late. I know we've talked about some of these things, although I haven't gotten into great detail. It's been kind of a shitty year and a half, to TLDR. After I graduated law school, studying for the bar, we obviously had to put things aside, but not passing it the first time was not something I ever expected of myself. I've been an overachiever my whole life. I'm not gonna like rattle off my statistics because I don't want to sound conceited, but like I don't fail at things ever. And so that was a big life change, the realization that I wasn't going to succeed at everything always. And that's a normal life step. Everybody's going to come across it at some point in their life. It was just hard to come across it at what, like 26 or whatever it was. It was a big pill to swallow. And I think life just kind of took a dive from there. I haven't talked about it yet, but I've been kind of sick. And like we weren't in a position to look into that. His health insurance with work was not great, and it wasn't worth the enormous initial payment to get me into the doctor's office. And so I've adjusted. Thanks, American healthcare. But when he got his raise and like got into a new job and stuff, I have been able to go. Still don't know what's wrong. It's thankfully not as bad as it was, but it's still, there are days when I just can't, or it's not worth doing anything but sitting at the computer or on the couch and just try not to focus on anything else. And so that makes getting out to model, that makes working on cosplay, that means even sitting down to play video games with you guys is just sometimes too much. But hopefully that's going to be on the wayside. I have been doing better. It's not perfect, and I'm kind of hesitant to start branching out into modeling and cosplay again because it's kind of an unpredictable flare-up kind of thing, and I can't always trust my body to be on its best behavior and to look and feel the way I need it to look and feel to engage in those activities, because it's very much based on how I look. And that's kind of a hard part of participating in those kind of activities, because the way I look is constantly under scrutiny, right? And it's better for me to just abstain from those things when I don't look or feel my best than to put out a product and a creative, work of art that's not my best. So that's why I haven't really been doing those things as of late. I do want to get back into it, but the year's been shitty. I mean, and I talked to you guys about my cat dying, and I know I talk about my cats a lot, but like, my cats are effectively like my kids. I don't like human children. I don't want to have human children. No, Karen, it's not a stage, and I won't grow out of it. I don't want human kids. Thank you. I've got cat kids. So the fact that Lily died, especially while I was studying for the bar, I just was like, and I've never lost one of my pets. We've had like the family dog die when I was young, and like I've lost bunnies and ferrets and stuff like that, but nothing quite as personal as like my pets, the ones that are very close to you and very interactive and that you grow and raise and bond with. Not that you can't bond with those other things, but I'm a cat person, as I'm sure you guys know. And so losing my baby, because she was the baby. Well, Essily's is technically the baby, but Lily's the proverbial baby, I guess, for lack of better terms, or was, I should say. God damn it, still. Even when we were shopping for furniture the other day, we were kind of going for an all-white aesthetic, so super mod and kind of minimalistic. And we're looking at white couches, and he's like, oh God, and Merlin's like, oh God, this will never stay clean. And I was like, well, at least Lily won't get hair, like her hair will be fine. And I just had to like stop and remember, and it was kind of like we should just probably go home now. And so that's been a big pushback on me wanting to be creative and wanting to engage in all these activities. Other than that, I had that stalker, and that was scary. that really affects my ability to get online and to do things with you guys, because I literally had to stop using Tumblr altogether because I can't control who can and cannot see that. And that was becoming a way and a platform on which I was really vulnerable in this specific situation. Like, I've stopped using Tumblr. Like, it's kind of done because it's not safe for me anymore. And even things like making videos, I didn't even realize this individual, like, literally creeped on all of my shit. Like, I was getting, like, threats and stuff like that. But I guess I just didn't put the two and two together. Yeah, so that also put a big damper on me engaging in things, because that's scary shit. Like, I've had an IRL stalker before in college, like some dude that used to follow me around my classes into my car and shit. Really scary bullshit. But, like, to have somebody, like, infiltrate literally online, too, and just not only, like, not micromanage, but, like, I don't know, observe everything you're doing through a very aggressive, harsh, threatening lens. Like, I don't know, it makes you not want to do anything. It makes everything not fun and not enjoyable. And so, like, this past year and a half has been really bad for all of those things. It's been really hard to get psyched for and enjoy and want to do the things that I typically love to do. And that's really shown on this end. There are some days where I just don't have the energy or the wherewithal to record. And I know you guys call me out on it. Thanks. And I try not to take it personally. I know you guys don't mean bad by it, but it's still a constant reminder of the way life hasn't necessarily always gone the way that I want it to. And sometimes you can't control that. Like, we did everything we could for Lily. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to help her live, and sometimes you just can't control those things. Obviously can't control the whole stalker thing, and I did what I could for the bar, and sometimes life just doesn't work out the way that you want it to. It didn't help that I also had Lily and the stalker and all this bullshit to deal with, so I try not to beat myself up on it too terribly much. It's hard being a perfectionist and needing to be perfect all the time and worrying about your self-worth if you're not. But that's part of growing up. That's part of maturing and learning that life isn't always going to give you what you want out of it, no matter how hard you work for it, no matter if you've done anything wrong or not. And so it's just been a growing year and a half for me. And I think a little bit for Merlin too, because I'm sure it wasn't easy to watch me do all of this. But again, we started with the good news because things are looking up. New schedule. I don't know where we're going to be as of mid-October. We don't move until like a few months from now, so I'm not super worried about that impacting. I'll just send you guys like dumb pictures of, you know, me building an IKEA bed or some stupid shit. Hopefully you don't actually have to do that, because that doesn't sound like a good time. But I will let you know when we have something more definitive. Bear with me in the time being. I'm trying to get all the pieces back together, trying to feel good about doing things and enjoying things, and it's still not perfect, but I'm working on it. And I guess that's all I can really do. Again, like, it took me fucking forever to film this, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about like this. It might be shit to edit, and it might not be fun to watch, but we don't ever sit down enough and have these kind of talks, and this may not be fun for anybody to watch. Nobody may even fucking care, but I don't know, I kind of felt like I owed it to you guys, especially because I'm not super transparent about stuff that goes on that's not fun. I don't know about most people, but to me, it feels like a vulnerability and a weakness, and people are like, oh, you're not perfect? Ugh, what? So I've tried to be better. I am trying to be better about being me with flaws, being me with imperfections, and being okay with that, as long as it's something that I'm in control of and can change. So if it's like something like I need to work on, like if I had a bad temper, and not like being impatient with people, because that is something I struggle with, is being impatient with people. To like be mindful of these things and to be a better person and grow because of it instead of letting that affect me negatively. So this has been a growth experience. I'm looking at it through that lens. And thank you guys for being patient with me through it. I know that it's not super fun on your end either, because I haven't been cosplaying, I haven't been modeling, and I haven't really been creating content on YouTube either. Again, hopefully everything will align and we can start doing those things again. I hope so. I hope that that's going to be the case. I think that starting this new position for me, is going to be really, really, really fulfilling for me and my outlook on life and the things that are important to me. And then once I'm busy again, I'm like that weird person who is happiest when they have a million things to do. So like that's why it's so much easier for me to record and stuff in law school, because I really enjoy being busy. I feel accomplished, I feel worthwhile, and that makes it easier for me to engage in the activities that I do enjoy. Like I deserve that. Does that make sense? And because I haven't been doing well at the things that I've set out to do, and there have been a lot of complications that are out of my control, I didn't feel like these things are things that I could engage in because I didn't deserve it and I wasn't going to do well. Does that make sense? It's been a really nasty, vicious cycle, but it's one that I can persevere through. And if you're going through similar things in your life, things that you can persevere through, we can do it. Sometimes it takes some time and some support, but it's all manageable and it's all overcomable. That's a word. Okay, so I think that covers everything. I hope that covers everything. I'm going to try to be better about chatting about this shit. There are some of you who have been really nice and who know somehow, like when I've stopped posting or when I've got a particularly like low point, and you guys check on me, and that shit means the world to me. Like a lot of the time I'm worried that like you guys don't give a fuck about like me or my personal life. Not that you have to, or that it's just like here for the games, and it's like, why haven't you responded to me in 30 minutes? You're supposed to keep track of your comments. I've had that shit. Or the like people getting on my case because I haven't posted as often as I said, or people are just being ugly in general, right? Because there are those people. There's always going to be those people. But I so appreciate those of you who have come forward and just like sent me a whisper through Instagram, through Facebook. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for treating me like a human being and for understanding. That means the world to me. It's that shit that makes me want to come back and interact with you guys. Not the, why haven't you posted lately? Or, why didn't you respond to my shit? That was like a day ago. And I obviously know that's the very select few. It's just hard sometimes because that one dude who shits on your day is the dude that you recall, right? He's the one that like sours the rest of your evening. And I hate the way that works. I'm trying not to make that be the case anymore. Because it's those of you who are super sweet and those of you who check up on me and who are always encouraging and always have positive stuff to say. Not even just for me, but for the community as a whole, for other people. That's so important. And I see you and I appreciate you. What you're doing is wonderful. And thank you for being a positive, uplifting, wonderful impact on not only me and this community, but the world as a whole. All right, guys. Thank you for sitting through all of this. If any of you even did. Thank you for listening. And thank you for hanging out and being accepting and understanding that life happens, unfortunately, and I, as well as many others, don't always handle it as best we could. But we're all trying, and we'll all get through. And it only gets better from here. The only place we have to go is up. So, I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.